Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, June 6th, 2017. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here from Chart of the Day Cafe. Hope you had a great weekend. I sure did. I got to see my daughter graduate from university. It was such a great occasion. Anyway, with that, let's get into today's video. We always start off with a look at the Rustle Index. We look at the Russell because we want to make sure that before we put any new names forward for our watch list, we're putting them forward in a rising market environment. We never want to put something forward when the market's falling. And for that, we use the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. And we like to step back and take a look at it on the larger time frame, 5-year monthly time frame. So we've been paying attention to this wedge pattern up here. This light blue line is our more long-term area of support resistance, but for now we're just sort of paying attention to this area. We noted in our video last week that a little bit of softness has come into the Russell with the candle for the month of May being a red candle. And we mentioned that, at least to me, in a series of candles that represented sideways price action and multiple months of sort of indecision in the candles, a red candle for the month of May gets my attention. So we just don't want to see that softness continue into June and perhaps this start to turn into a downtrend. But for now, price still seems to be holding up. So let's move it away from the monthly to the 1-year weekly. And we can see this is the same orange line of support resistance and our upper black trend line. And we note that when it gets up to this upper black trend line, the Russell seems to lose steam. See, it hit it here and then it floated down, hit it here. These are weekly candles and floated down, and now we're getting up into that area again here. So the candle last week turns out to be a bullish candle, looks pretty good, and price is up and over the 8-day EMA on the weekly. Let's move it from the weekly to the daily so we can better see price. Last couple of days, yesterday was a soft day, long wick day prior, but this one was a very powerful candle. So we'll see what happens today. Looks like the futures are getting off to a little bit of a red start. But with price overall up and over that 8-day EMA, we're going to talk about a chart for our watch list. And the name we're going to talk about for our watch list today is Google Alphabet Inc., ticker symbol GOOGL, trades on the NASDAQ exchange. Now, Google is not a new name to our watch list, but it's a name that I wanted to refresh some information on. So we're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. Google was first featured here at Chart of the Day Cafe back here in June of 2015. It's had this beautiful run since then, and these are monthly candles. But the value and growth score, despite the run higher, is still high even today. Not as high in terms of value as it was down here, but still nice and high. So I just wanted to refresh that information for you for this name, and we want to keep it on our watch list. Before I get into the chart too much though, let me tell you a little bit more about Google. I'm sure most of you are aware Google is one of the biggest brands in the world. They're a technology company involved in just about everything from internet to driverless cars, you name it, Google pretty much does it. You know what, Chart of the Day Cafe, it's all about value and growth, and Google still has a nice high value score, and it's got a current forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 16%. Third thing I look for, and I can't always get it, in this case it is not there, and that is a dividend yield. So unfortunately Google does not pay a dividend, and the current PE is 26.25. I don't believe they announce earnings until the end of July, but we'll check that when we go check our boxes in the end. So we're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. You can see this beautiful trend, and the candles of late have been pretty solid, but let's move it into the smaller time frame. Let's go 6 months daily. I like to see nice clean charts, so we only have our 8-day EMA on this chart. You can see that Google sort of traded sideways for a long time here, and then it started to lift. And I like to see why I'm featuring it today. I like to see this consolidation here, and it looks as though it wants to pop up and out. Should price strength continue in the market? It's all about the market staying strong. So we're getting off to a little bit of a soft start this morning, I think. I'll be watching to see how things look at the end of the day. But should that strength continue, Google looks good even up here. I'm going to move it into an even smaller time frame because I want you to see, well, let's put our 3 and 8 on there. I know everyone has their own way of doing things. I like to see the 3 and 8. So the 3 being up and over the 8-day EMA. So we do have that nice look, and again, that consolidation and the continuation of that price strength. So with that, we're putting Google forward as a refreshed name on our watch list. Along with our featured chart, we like to take a look at the sector that it's in, and for that we're using XLK, which is the ETF for the technology sector. We're looking at it on a 5-year monthly time frame. Like Google, you can see it's in this beautiful uptrend on the 5-year monthly chart. Going to move it away from the monthly to the 6-month daily. You can see prices up and over that blue 8-day EMA. Had a little bit of a doji indecision day yesterday, so we want to see price get past that doji, but for the most part, technology is looking strong. We also like to go to FinViz and see what FinViz has to say about our pick. I like to look at Analysts Reviews, and you can see that Google, for the most part, actually without exception, except for this downgrade, all positive reviews of Google. Lots of great articles. I will include one of them with today's video. We also like to take a look at seasonality, and for that we go to equityclock.com. Excellent site, and you can see that seasonally Google comes into a period of strength in the month of June. No guarantee that happens this year, but always nice to see. And the article that I wanted to include with today's video is this: Google's been declared the most valuable brand, I think it's in the world, in terms of market capitalization. Wow, Google, very well recognized. So I thought that was an interesting article. And so let's go back and summarize what we talked about in today's video. We're looking at Google. We started off by looking at the Rustle Index using the IWM. We can see that overall it's in an uptrend. Having said that, it's been trading sideways for several months, and the month of May had a red candle. So we're being very cautious, but currently price is up and over the 8-day EMA on the daily chart. We looked at XLK, the ETF that represents the technology sector. Beautiful 5-year uptrend on the chart. Google, same thing. It's got a good value score. It's got a good growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate of 16%. Does not pay dividends, so we don't have that box checked. Has a 3 and 8 EMA daily cross already. Seasonality in its favor. Analyst support. Current PE of 26.25, and earnings are look to be on July 27th. As a reminder, these videos go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning. If you like receiving them, please hit the subscribe button on our homepage and subscribe to our channel, where you'll get notified of new videos immediately. With that, I'll say goodbye. We'll see you Thursday. Have a great next couple of days.